It was on my way to a marching band competition freshman year when the senior Jin Jang looked over at me and said, "You know, Thomas will like Holden Caulfield." He then said how I'd be reading The Catcher in the Rye next year. In sophomore year is when I found out just how right he was about me. In the book The Catcher in the Rye, main character Holden Caulfield dreams of being the catcher in the rye, someone who protects children from falling off a cliff, which to him symbolizes entry into a cruel adulthood. And as he puts it, that's the only thing he'd really like to be. His hatred of adults and their corrupt ways makes him adore anything that aids the conservation of innocence. As a 16-year-old, he struggles with his transition into the real world and doesn't know what to make of the seemingly disgusting and phony world around him. And it was in Mrs. Lascola's sophomore English class when she began connecting ideas of innocence to Holden Caulfield when I really found out how hilariously true my friend was about me. Even though I'm a junior now, and the fact that I'm less than a year away from being considered an adult is quite scary because of what I know could be ahead. Every single time I open CNN, I immediately see President Trump on the homepage with a negative and revealing headline. And under those headlines too much, do I see notifications of a new shooting, which I've seen often enough to the point where I've just become desensitized to them. I have some 64 weeks left, and managing the time left has become a big priority. A short time ago, I visited Gregory Middle School to talk to some music students there. And I couldn't help but make sure that they knew to capitalize on their dwindling innocence. Capitalize on their dwindling innocence. They have some 324 weeks left, yet I wish I were in their shoes, so I could go back and live with the benefit of the doubt they often get. This may seem ludicrous to my classmates, but it seems nice around now as a worried, sleep-deprived high schooler. And when the teachers there asked us to give them some advice, I couldn't help but make sure that they knew they had to capitalize on their depleting innocence. But it does make me relate more and more to Holden Caulfield, someone who struggles with growing up in a corrupt world. It was said by Lao Tzu that if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you're at peace, you're living in the present. Conscious reflection of something we'll never be able to enjoy again haunts people like Holden and I, and makes it really hard not to live in the past and not to use the past to worry about the future. Living in the present takes an acceptance of what has happened, an acknowledgement that what largely impacts the future is what is done now. It's largely what is done now. Holden struggles growing up in the world he lives in and wishes he could change what kind of world he lives in, the people around him. He dwells constantly and lives constantly in the past, in the non-resurrectable past, and worries constantly about his and his peers' futures. Sure, he and I share some battles, but as our regrets and wishes diminish, we're becoming less and less worried about the then, and more about the ever-important now.